Now there can be a question. If God is one, then why God created so many different religions? Do all the path takes you to the same destination, or all of them are right? Or why there are different names, forms, worship rituals and rites for the same God? Or is there any path that synthesizes all religions, right? Is there is any ultimate goal behind all these religions? Now, this can be a question to objectively think over. There has to be a reason because all paths may not lead to the same goal. It's just like saying you catch any flight and you reach the destination of Mumbai. That's not the case. The flight you choose and the ticket you pay, your destination changes. So, how to understand this? Why there are different religions? So, the various religions which are existing or which came into place just to give the message to the people as per their level of understanding, as per their level of digesting the fact, just to avoid them to preclude the religion all put together. The religion principles were diluted and given to them. Example, when the Jesus Christ he preached to whom? The fishermen's. Now, he cannot give the whole pure knowledge to fishermen, so he diluted that knowledge. But when Krishna gave knowledge to Arjuna, who is Arjuna? He is a personality who is not just a great warrior, but he is well known for his even his own sense control. Like when he was doing a tapasya during Vanvas, and he went to, you know, Indralok or Swargalok to carry out the tapasya. He in the Swargalok he sees a apsara called Urvashi, and looking at this Urvashi, you know, Urvashi thought that Arjuna is looking at me and he seems to be attracted to me. So Urvashi approaches Arjuna and says, "Let's enjoy together." But Arjuna, he says, "No, Urvashi, I was looking at you with a different purpose. You are like a mother for me." Because in the lineage of Arjuna, there was a king who was maybe his great grandfather who had married to Urvashi, actually. And Arjuna had remembered that, and looking at Urvashi, he remembered his past lineage or his past great grandfather, right? And he was saying, Urvashi, I was just looking at you as like my mother. And Urvashi says, come on, in Swargaloka, we all apsaras are virgin. There is nothing like mother and father. He says, no, no, no. This is not the purpose. I was looking at you. So Apsara, Urvashi became very angry and he says, I curse you for that for a almost for a 1 or 2 years. You will be behaving like a eunuch, or you will become a eunuch, right? And this is exactly during the Agnatvas, Arjuna took advantage of this curse and hide himself as a eunuch and teach to the dancing to the princess, right? So, but you can see here a girl in Swargaloka who is the best of the Apsara, the Urvashi, approaching Arjuna, saying, let's enjoy, and one is able to say no. That requires a tremendous sense control. Now, such personality, when the knowledge is given, it is not diluted, but it is given in its purest form. And that's why, if you read in the Bible, Jesus Christ says, there are so many things I want to tell you, but I cannot tell you because you cannot bear it. There's a statement in the Bible. But when Krishna tells to Arjuna, he says, whatever knowledge I have given to you is the knowledge which is complete in its nature. There is nothing beyond to be known. right? So we can understand the various truths which are revealed in various religions. The message is common, but there can be a different levels of dilutions in revealing the message. Example, let's say in let's take it to meat eating. Now Christianity will say, okay, except other than Friday, one can have meat. Don't have on Friday, right? It was previously only on Friday, not to have on other days, but then they change it. But anyway, there is a regulation. If one follows, then he's considered to be a good Christian. Same is a regulation in Islam saying at least don't eat pigs and dogs, you know, don't eat their meats. Okay, so there is some restriction to be followed. And of course, in Sanatan Dharma, there is restriction of not to eat any meat at all, saying that all living entities actually is the sons and daughters of the Lord, and that's why one should not try to kill the animals just for pleasure of one's own tongue. Now, this is something a very, very high level of understanding. One religion may say, do not have sex with your mother, with your sister. Now such level of instruction is given to whom? People who were involved in doing all those things, right? But when it comes to Sanatan Dharma, it speaks about a very high level of understanding. The religion which teaches one to generate or have a uninterrupted and unmotivated love for the Lord. That is the highest religion. Now, this is Sanatan Dharma, which talks about the highest and top class principles in loving God and not just begging Lord for various material things. So, Sanatan Dharma may have varied levels of religion within it, but the highest of the religion, which is spoken about in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the topmost dharma, is presenting the epitome to which the Sanatan Dharma can uplift a person to. So, as per the time, place, circumstances, the religions by the religious leaders like Ishu Christ or Muhammad Paigambar, though they were completely self realized, they revealed to the extent which was acceptable for the people at that time. Otherwise, you can imagine somebody who is eating, let's say, everyday meat, and you tell him, stop meat from tomorrow. He will say, stop coming to me from tomorrow. So just not let them to completely reject the religion, they diluted it so that at least from eating every day, they at least stop eating on one day. And maybe there can be further progression for time to come. This is for meat, this is for many other things we can discuss. But all of them have a same common message. God is one. We all have to serve and love the God. We have to life goal is, you know, to serve the Lord and go into the spiritual world, right? This material world is place of misery, right? All religion they speak about the same thing. Why? Because the common message is coming from the God Himself. But of course, it has been diluted for people of that time and place to accept and follow it. So thank you very much for patient hearing.